What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Billy Collins.
And I'm Matt Doge.
And this is Magician and the Jock. Actually, this is Young Jock pretending to be...
I didn't think we were telling them that.
Well, we just, I don't want your brother coming there and be all mad. Look, we got swag.
Do you want one?
I got one already.
You got one.
Okay. You're late to the party.
She's not wearing it. That's not a good sign.
So, guys, we have a special guest this week. We have Jenna Pope. She is beautiful, stunning. The reason why I want to get sick when I go to the hospital. Nurses. You like that?
I like that.
I like that, all right. Welcome to the channel.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Glad
so
to be here.
tell the people a little about Jenna. Like where you come from, what you do.
Came from the womb.
The womb?
Yeah. I came out, they cut my mom open. It was a C-section, so I didn't give my mom that much trouble.
Wow, the girl that I bartend with, Tiffany, she said, someone said, where are you from? She said, my mom's womb, my dad's nuts. I was like, wow, okay. All right, there it is.
Right on the table.
Conversation.
So after the womb, yeah.
So I came out and I was taken home by a different mom.
What?
No way.
Yeah, wait. So
Whoa.
Never knew that, yeah.
I guess I should have started with this, that me and my sister are 5 months apart.
Wait. Are you adopted? Is your sister adopted?
He's the first one I think that has ever been like, how is that not that you've said, are you adopted versus how is that possible? Because that's everyone's response is, that's not possible? Like, what happened? But yeah, so I was adopted before I was born, and then my mom now was called when my birth mother went to labor, and she took me out.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, my name's Chris, by the way. But yeah, we actually my sister adopted as well. So and gave birth pretty recent after that. Not 5 months. Don't know the exact age, but
well, mine was 5 months. So my sister's 5 months older than I am.
Okay.
So my mom.
So were they going through that process and then got pregnant, or
No,
got pregnant and then?
I was supposed to go to a different family. Yeah. So it was kind of like my parents were never planning to adopt, and then my dad's secretary told, and her husband was a family attorney handling the adoption case or handling it, and then she told my dad. My dad went home that day while my mom's nursing my sister, and my mom was like, we'll take her. And
That's
so I was
awesome.
like, sold.
Sold.
Then they picked me up from the hospital the day I was born, and she actually got to breastfeed me. I don't know if y'all want those details, but since she was breastfeeding
Every
my sister.
detail.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
So.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
So
pretty cool
really,
with your parents, too. Yeah,
my mom chose me, not my sister. She popped out that 10-pound baby. And.
Well, wait, but was it Matt 10 pounds, dude?
I was 10 pounds. Matt was like 11 and a half.
Good Lord.
Sure, strong.
These are falling off my head.
Well, Josh
head's
wore them
not big
last. So
enough.
it's pretty.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta
my head's
adjust.
not big enough. Moved down here in 2000 when I was 8, so that was 2004, and yeah, we hated the snow. My dad was like, I'm done with the snow. We're moving.
No, I know his pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Although we did have a pool in Maryland, so we didn't have one here. So.
We had the ocean.
Yeah, that's
A big
I guess
pool.
that's different.
Big pool.
But-
That actually has waves that you can ride.
Yeah, but
So very cool. So after that, when you moved here, you grew up in the
I
area.
just hung out,
And your dad
just hung out on the beach, built
Didn't get it.
sandcastles,
Your
Just
mom
all
was,
day.
all day, all year long.
Your mom was was your mom a stay-at-home mom, or was she?
Oh, okay. No, she was not. She never has been. So my dad was principal. He retired from the Maryland school system, and then he got a job at Moorhead Middle.
Yep. Sixth grade. I remember. Yeah.
He was a principal.
Well, I was sixth grade.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then my mom works still at the hospital in New Bern as the director of cardiopulmonary services.
So is that where you got your? Because you're a personal trainer too.
Yeah, so I guess if we want to jump to when I
Well, I was just saying,
high school, I don't know.
Let's just skip a couple of these years.
I was just thinking, is your mom what kind of got you into the
I guess
whole
so.
health
I mean,
body?
I grew up as my daycare was at the hospital. So
Gotcha,
I
okay.
grew up in that setting. I didn't know that's what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted, I guess, to help people. But kind of what got me into, like, therapy, because originally I thought about physical therapy or occupational. My little cousin was adopted from Guatemala, and she has cerebral palsy. And I've spent, during the summer, once I had my license, I would go up there and just stay a couple days with my aunt and uncle and help her with school, help her do anything. She was going through, like, horse therapy. She used to have braces on her legs, and just watching her, like, she is the most, like, humble child and well-behaved. Now she's a teenager, so I don't really know. Well, 14. But growing up, she just, I don't know. There was just something, she was just loved life and was just this happy kid, even though she had a lot going on that even caused her physical pain. I mean, she just physiologically, mentally, I couldn't imagine what's going on, but she had trouble with everything. But she just loved life.
Yeah.
And watching her grow up and overcome all the obstacles that were thrown at her because of cerebral palsy was pretty amazing. That's what kind of led me to occupational therapy to begin with. And then, I just changed careers or majors like 5 times. So.
Well, I did jump over, so go back to. I jumped right to the.
Well, I guess, I mean, so like Chris said, he knew my dad.
Yeah.
So he did pass away. We were in a car accident. He was only there at Moorhead Middle from August, or I guess that summer of 2004 to April 2005. But I mean, from what I've been told, that everyone really liked him.
He made an impact on everyone.
Yeah.
Really?
When he was
I
there.
think-
I still remember what he looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, like Santa Claus.
Yep. That's what I said before. I was like Santa. Yeah. Principal Santa.
He had the white hair, white beard, and no, he really thrived in that setting, and he really, especially with kids that got in trouble, he knew how to. Oh, were you one of those tourists?
Yeah, I've talked to him a couple of times. Yeah.
But I don't know. He just had something a talent with kids, and could reach them in a way that a lot of people couldn't.
So he basically found his calling, for sure.
Yeah, he found that a long time ago. So he had been in the Maryland school system for 30 years. He founded a school in Maryland. I think it was St. John's Lane, something like that. Or maybe it was their Deep Run. Oh, I think it was Deep Run Elementary.
In Maryland.
In Maryland,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. So Deep Run in elementary, or in Maryland Elementary.
Maryland Elementary.
We'll cut that
Deep
out.
Run.
Yeah.
We'll
Deep
edit that.
Run Elementary,
Words.
Maryland.
Yeah.
So were you in the car?
I
Darn.
was.
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
Oh, wow.
I got some scars. Do you want to see?
Wow, that's
Where are they?
One's visible. So I had one right here. I think it's funny, but I think people, if you would have seen it when it happened. So I broke my arm. It was a clear break. Didn't go through the skin or anything, but like your wrist is hanging here. Mine was just hanging like right here. And I turned to my sister and looked. I got hit. So I was behind my dad. His seat broke. And how I broke my arm, I was reaching for my water bottle after eating a bagel because I was late and I had my breakfast in the car. And my feet were in my seat because I had a weird thing about I never put my shoes on, or if I didn't have my shoes on, I never put my feet down on the floorboard. And so that actually saved my legs, per what doctors have said, when I broke my arm. But I was reaching for my water bottle, and that's, I guess, when the truck hit us. We were in an expedition, and it crushed her. But seat broke, knocked me out. But I pulled out my arm, I guess, at some point. And I turned to look at my sister, and I was like, Leah, I think my arm is broken. And I just held it up to her. That's basically all I remember from it.
wow.
And then people, because my legs were crossed, people were like, there's a baby in the car. And I'm like, what are they talking about? I'm like,
You're like, we have a baby?
Like, where
did we get a baby?
We have a baby?
Is it a baby dog? Yeah, so that was the accident. We hung out in the hospital for a little bit, went to Vidant, broke the sink in our room by playing with the bed. But, and then we came home, and, you know, it was a weird time, but had a really fat hand for a long time. But, and was in and out of the hospital for a few things here and there for the coming years, or for the, years after, something like that. And my sister was in it too. We both had internal injuries and had to have exploratory labs done. And
we're acting like we know what these words are, but
they had to go in our stomachs or in our bodies. So they did a nice little scar right here. And basically, when they do those in X lab, they are going in to see what the damage is. They don't know, because they just know there's either internal bleeding or fluid buildup, and they go in and trying to find what's going on. So.
And was this months, weeks?
No, that was the week we spent in the hospital after it happened. So they took us to Carteret, and then they tried to just transfer me because they didn't think my sister had any injuries. And then my mom was like, well, you can't do that because you can't separate my kids. And so we both all went. Leah complained the whole ride there because her butt hurt, because I got to lay in the middle bed in the ambulance.
So even during those times, there's some sibling rivalry.
And then she complained the whole week in the hospital that her butt hurt from the ride to Vidant, because they couldn't airlift us because it was raining. Or else that's what they originally wanted to do. But I guess that's why the accident happened too.
Because I guess the
truck. The truck hydroplaned across 24. They were on the other side of the road. They were speeding. It's right in that little section right by Bogue Airfield, where it turns from 55 to 45. The issue was that the company truck hadn't been kept up to date, and it had zero tread on the tires. Speeding, and then rain, and 24 doesn't drain, so
it's
just went
bad combination.
Right across. So, make sure your tires have tread when it's raining.
Yeah. Well, sorry to hear that.
Highly recommend.
I didn't know the whole story from that. I knew pieces.
You could have
of
asked any time.
I know, but I didn't want to pry. I didn't know.
So we just wanted to record and pry.
We just wanted to pry on the channel for content.
Let's just tell the world. It's fine. No, I mean, it sucks not having Daddy here. Every time I do meet someone that knows him or knew him, it actually, it makes me feel better inside knowing that he had made a difference in so many people's lives and people remember him, because it's been 16 years. And, my one thing that I hate when people say, and I guess hate's really strong, but when people tell me, like, it'll be okay, especially around the anniversary, or, like, everything's going to be fine, it's going to be okay, it'll get better. It does not get better. You become stronger. You learn how to handle the emotions and handle what happened, and you just, over time, you grow with it, and it builds you stronger. It never gets better.
Never gets better. Do you focus on the good things rather than... Yeah.
And it's just, 16 years, it just has made me stronger. Yeah, I still cry. I still, I'll still go visit my dad at his grave. I still take him flowers. And my mom used to be like, well, why are you taking him flowers? He's not there. And not because she's morbid about it. She used to do it too, but she's just like, it's not something that, like, on, like, the anniversary of it, that she wants to go to his grave and take him flowers, but I'm like, that's one of his memorials.
Right.
So I'm like, that's what makes me feel better.
Yeah, do it for you.
But I also love flowers, so just, like,
helps you get your...
So you get
I get upset when I see that they've blown away.
They son of a bitch.
They do, yeah, but I usually forget to take them out when there's a hurricane, so...
Well, that was on you.
That's why you get new ones.
But,
yeah.
Well, I guess they were fall and now it's summer. So.
So we'll go a little bit of happier times now. We'll move on to where you, because I met you because we worked at the gym together.
Right.
You were a trainer.
Yeah.
I fix stuff. Or I pretend to. I just basically walk around.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I met you and Brian doing magic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you would do it at Amos.
Yes.
Mosquitoes.
Still
and
do.
then-
Every Wednesday, 5 to 9.
But yeah, so I guess we can say we officially became pals
At the gym.
at the gym. At the gym.
I
at
made
the
it a little
sports center.
plaque.
Oh yeah.
Of course you
that-
did.
yeah.
Billy made some.
I was so bored one day. I was like, I just started. I found a router. And
What does the plaque say?
Oh crap!
Is it just?
It's a
I
great
put it-
one, huh?
I put it in the worst placements because I
so
had it.
ugly.
I had.
This is so good.
Well, no,
you know?
I had it in my room because it has my name on it, but I don't remember what it says. It says something funny. Not funny, but like fun, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to find a picture of it.
So
I've been hit in the head a couple times with it because I put it above my bed, and then if I like bumped, if the fan was going too fast, it would knock it off. And then
So you see what you did to her,
I
man.
know, it's like, she's just like,
All
"F you,
because you
Billy,"
were
she
bored.
throws it across the
well,
board.
it had no way to put a nail in or hook it to a nail. I guess
He didn't think of everything.
Look, I literally
hole
made
in
it.
the back. Like,
So,
I don't know. I don't have a drill like that.
I found a router in the workshop, and I was like, I've never really used one, and I just started carving stuff, and I was making.
Did you spell your name right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she was like, I want one. So I was like, okay. So instead of actually doing my real job, I'm sitting there making plaques for people, and they're the
Like
worst.
she said she wanted one in. She wants two of those. Another.
It was
But it's
actually
not
worse.
centered at all.
No, it's bad. It's really bad. There's one thing that I can guarantee I will not be doing, and that's making a business out of plaques.
No, unless you want something that you don't really. That's
Yeah, but
very
you-
unique.
The last place
It's
plaque.
very unique.
Hey, you know what? When this channel blows up, that plaque's gonna be worth a ton.
Well, you did sign the back, so
I did.
I mean,
Oh,
I'll
now
keep
it's
it
not worth
forever.
that much.
I wish I remembered what it said because I don't. Yeah, I
can't
just know
remember
my
his name.
name's in all caps, so it's fine.
That's all I can spell.
And I think you colored it.
Well, I'm
in
glad it was really
Sharpie.
important.
I did. I colored the name in Sharpie. I painted it blue. And I was like, I don't have any black paint, so I just took Sharpie and blacked it.
Oh, well, that's paint.
It works. It works. Sharpie's permanent. So yeah, so you're a personal trainer, and then
Yeah, so I did that for a couple years. Well, I guess you kind of skipped my degree. I was at ECU for 4 years.
really, I didn't see.
Oh.
Didn't know that.
Should have added that up there instead of puddles.
Puddles.
What does puddles mean?
What is- yeah, what is-
well,
That's
we'll
what
come
we
back to
can't-
that.
we
We'll
can't
come back to
keep
that.
Jumping
Yeah.
forward. That was like a year after working at the sports center. With
So
my
you were.
friends.
So you went to ECU for 4 years.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
4.5. Yeah, I made it in that short time. I wasn't allowed to change my major anymore though. So or else.
See, how many times did you change?
I think it was only 4.
Okay.
That's not bad.
No,
And
one
you
for
still
every-
graduated in
one
4.5
for every
years.
year. Yeah, one for every year.
But was it all in the same thing? I'm guessing.
Same field.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all within under kinesiology, which is
Alright.
this exercise science. So.
Thank you for that.
Well, some schools don't even.
I know
have
some of those words.
Did you see the
Kidding
blank
me.
faces we both were like, well,
That's science.
that's science.
It's just fancy. It's okay when we made my graduation invitations or announcements, whatever, for high school. My mom told me to put kinesiology on there, and I think half of my family was like, "The heck are you going to school for? What?" And I'm like, yeah, that's it. Kinesiology, don't you know? Like, Google it.
So that covers a lot of stuff, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so
I think
exercise
that's
science is
What I went for.
there's two
Trying to remember.
main routes you can go. You can go exercise physiology, which is more so the you have to take organic chemistry for that. Or you can do health fitness specialist, which is basically, I say, for the ADD people, because very hands-on. More hands-on than ex-phys.
Is that how you become a PE teacher?
No, there's a different, yeah.
Okay.
But that's under
Do you
kinesiology.
want to be a PE teacher?
That's what I wanted to be. That and a
really?
football coach, yeah. Our
Just
PE
cross
teacher took 7 years to get there. He's a doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Wait, he went from a doctor to
Nah, he's not a doctor.
He
did go to school for free.
Could have been a doctor.
WebMD doctor?
You know you are, Coach. Oh,
You're
doctor.
listening.
Oh,
Who
boy.
was your coach?
We had so many.
Only one doctor, though, right? Or were they all
That's right.
doctors?
Doctor eligible.
So who's the doctor? You don't want to tell? Give him a shout out.
Oh, we're good. We'll leave it a mystery. Those who know, know.
If you know, you know.
You know.
Yeah, so I went to school for health fitness specialist at ECU. Pre-physical therapy was what I graduated with, and then I didn't do that. Decided not to. Shadowed, and then they require a doctorate in physical therapy, and then the salary is just a bunch of, the field didn't go in the direction I wanted to. Nursing does. You do all of it.
Which is why we brought you in.
Yes.
So we're here.
So
Yeah.
we are here with the
Yeah.
nurse. And then you
Yeah.
went to Duke.
Well, I got my CNA first, which is
Okay.
my certified
Certified
nursing
nursing assistant.
Yeah.
You like
And that's
that?
how I just.
You followed along with her the whole time.
Yeah. It's actually nurse aid.
Aid.
One.
Nurse
I just did the
aid.
one. There's two.
Mm-hmm.
But I did the one, and then I got accepted into nursing school. So I was like, I don't need to do the two. I'll just do that at school. And I worked at Crystal Bluffs for a few months prior to nursing school. That was a very rewarding, challenging, somewhat overworking, and
And in case people don't know,
exhausting
what is
job.
Crystal Bluffs?
it is a rehabilitation or / long-term care facility.
Mm-hmm.
For rehab side, you can be basically of any age. If it's you can't go home on your own, you go there for recovering from an injury or
You just need help with daily
Yeah.
activities.
Yeah,
Like,
some of that sort, and then also so that would be the occupational therapy side of it, and then some of like getting your range of motion back, being able to walk again on your own, and function at home on your own. Now, usually, if you have someone else, another caregiver at home, then you'd go home versus going to a rehab facility. And then the long-term care side is, it's somewhat you're unsafe to live by yourself.
Like the
Yeah.
elderly or.
Yeah, usually an older adult ages. Yeah. There's a couple around here, but I
You
like
want to ask your question?
is that where you live? No, I wasn't.
That's where I reside.
Hey now, I liked my patients. Or well,
And that's where he was doing magic.
residents, if
That's
we-
where I was doing magic, and she was changing my diapers.
No, and well,
adult briefs. Come on now.
No,
well,
sorry.
and you know, with doing Medicare and everything that I work with, we see a lot of people transition into long-term care facilities.
Yeah.
You know, so
Y'all
on
make
the
it
other
hard for
aspect
them.
of it,
Y'all make it hard for them.
no, I make it easy for them.
Oh well, the Medicare, Medicaid side of it. We're not going to talk about that.
Well, they don't cover it, but yeah, we don't got to go too deep
Yeah.
into it. That's why you
Yeah.
call Chris, and we can handle it for you.
So, did you have a question about the?
No, we'll cut this. So you hear of all these stories of, I guess, some people when they go to these facilities, they find their, I guess, new life. You know, and they kind of treat it like college,
Resurgence.
like a dorm.
Yeah, well, some rooms are semi-private. They don't have bunk beds because that's unsafe.
Could you imagine a 95-year-old trying to climb
that's
up
not-
bunk
yeah.
beds?
I wouldn't put it past them. They like to do some fun things.
Yeah.
It's an interesting experience, but yeah, we don't have bunk beds.
You have a curtain.
Thank goodness. They do have curtains. And then there's some private rooms, but yeah, it's like having a roommate.
Yeah.
So with that, we talked earlier about what's the grossest thing you've seen as a nurse or a caretaker?
Well, as a CNA, even as a nurse, because you do both of it, you don't always have an aide. Like the unit I will be working on at Duke, I won't have nurse aides to help me because it's the 1-to-1 ratio. They're in an ICU and they're very unstable. So you're taught in nursing school how to do all those basic cares, which it was helpful that I had my nurse aide already because I knew how to even roll a patient, knew how to change them without injuring them because their skin, usually older adults, their skin is so frail. Like you can go like that and their skin will slide off. Because it's just
Because they've just been laying there, or is it just...
some of that's usually on their bottom.
Okay.
Or on bony prominences, which is
Okay.
like stuff where your bone is closer to your skin, or like your sacrum, or your butt bone.
Butt bone. I know butt bone.
Butt bone.
But yeah, so they just have thin skin because the older you get, the less elastic your skin is, and it just less stretchy and less resilient.
So when you say roll them, you mean kind of roll them to clean them?
Yes,
Yeah.
or roll them to help them sit up,
Got it.
to get out of bed if they need that assist. I mean, you do everything.
Right.
But I guess the grossest thing,
Or something that you remember the most, or something that sticks out,
well,
which is probably gross.
Hold on.
I mean, you have every type of, like, bodily fluid you will see on a, first hour you walk into your shift. Yeah. So, I don't know what kind of gross...
Do you work nights or days?
So I did both. Sometimes because what Crystal Bus people would... If someone called out and they were short-staffed, I learned how to say no, but not at first. And I would be like, sure, I'm young. I can pull 16 hours. It's fine. Night shift, I'll just stay from... So I'd work 3 to 11, and then they'd be short-staffed, and they'd talk me into it. And they were like, spend the shift with us. And I'm like, okay, it sounds good now. And then 3 a.m., you're like, oh. I would do laps. I would just do laps because everyone's asleep. I would just do laps around it and like try to stay up. Thank God for that Dunkin' Donuts that would stay open 24 hours. That's the only thing I think that saved me. But, and then I'd come into the sports center at 9 a.m. the next morning. Usually like 9:15, maybe 9:30. Or change my client, but I'd make it in there that day within like 10 hours and come back in. And then I'd go back there.
That's just
So have you started nursing yet? So you said, well, I don't know if you said this. Where do you work now?
I have a job at Duke University Hospital, Big Duke, in Durham. I guess I shouldn't say the specifics or else people will come find me.
Yes.
I work at...
Something.
on a hard unit.
On a rough unit.
They're on an unstable patient unit. Okay, so
I have no idea what you're saying. Yeah.
I guess I didn't tell y'all to begin with, but so I'll be working on the cardiothoracic ICU, or known as the CTICU. So, yeah.
Wow.
So what does that mean?
Dang,
I think
once again
I know heart, and I think thoracic's like right here. Right?
Thoracic is like your chest cavity kind of area. That's your collarbone.
Never mind.
This is your...
His thoracic goes to his back.
Thoracic outlet.
Maybe your thoracic is somewhere else because you
don't call me a thoracic. Okay.
That sounds so vulgar.
It's getting weird.
So,
all right.
What my unit usually does, or not usually, but they do heart surgery, heart transplants, lung transplants. Duke University Hospital actually just did the first in North America artificial heart transplant. And the guy just had his 40th birthday.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So while he's on the heart transplant list for living, human heart, it's an artificial heart.
They printed it? Is that... Maybe.
I read the article and it's out. The article came out July 14th, I believe. Okay. But I don't remember the exact specifics. I remember the artificial heart looking thing, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think
and I'm not
Jordan.
Sure.
Who? You know Dr. Jordan? The big house on the now they do weddings and stuff like Dr. Jordan. You guys went with CJ's thing. That was Dr. Jordan's house, the big house.
Oh.
Never mind. He doesn't remember.
That was a good one.
But I think
Wait, for CJ's birthday?
for his wedding.
Oh, his wedding. Oh, never mind. I was
Yeah,
like,
they
wait,
went
I
to
thought that was
Jordan's house.
No,
They
that
call
was
it
someone
Jordan's
else's
house.
house.
But it's a mansion.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy did something with artificial hearts, like created
Right.
the first valve for
He created
artificial-
something, and that's why that house was
Well,
very
this is
large.
the whole dang thing.
I want to see that guy's house.
It looks like a.
It's pretty awesome. So, to take it back a little bit from there, you were either one of or the first graduating class kind of during all the apocalypse.
the
during
the
the
COVID.
apocalypse, but we're still here. I was, yeah, I did. I didn't go in knowing that it was going to be a thing. When I signed up for nursing school, gave them my money, and then we went for spring break, and then all of a sudden I start seeing all this stuff on the once in a lifetime that I watch the news. And then I get an email saying we're not coming back, and we get one more week of spring break, and then we'll know like what for sure is happening. So it's great. We got 2 weeks of spring break. We didn't get one this past March before I graduated though. So I guess that's where. And then we didn't go back until full time. They allowed us back. Duke allowed us back in for our third semester. So when did that start? That started, I think it was in August. So
And were you hands-on at that time, or were you still in classrooms?
They let us back into.
So it probably messed with your training a little bit.
Yeah. So my second semester. So I'll start off with. I already had my degree. The program I went to at Duke was an accelerated nursing program, BSN program, Bachelor of Science in Nursing program. So ABSN. Get all those words in there. And that's Duke only has an accelerated nursing program. They don't have the normal 4-year undergraduate degree. And so I only had 4 semesters of nursing school. And then the pandemic hit. Then I had one semester, my second semester, well, the last half of first semester and my second semester were all online. And like, like how the heck do you do nursing online?
Yeah.
We got my second semester, we had already started clinicals in first semester, like the second weekend to nursing school. Just kind of on a med surg unit, just shadowing other nurses, seeing what they're doing, just going around with them, sticking with one patient and basically helping out, but only to a CNA extent. And even then it was more so just to get the feel of being in the hospital with the nurses and seeing what they did. And then second semester was maternity and pediatrics, so mother, baby, and kids. And so all of that was online with simulations of patients on a computer, but not even real patients. It was just all virtual simulations of patients that keep saying that they're nauseous, and you give them either a medication for it or a emesis or a bucket to throw up in, and then they say they threw up or saying they don't feel like they have to throw up, and you just keep clicking buttons.
So very realistic.
Yeah, so you can give
Real
them,
life stuff.
The great thing about it was that, I mean, if you hit one button and what the patient didn't like it, that would say patient deteriorated, and the simulation patient basically died, and then you just press restart. So
COVID during
COVID during it sucked.
Yeah.
Right.
So
It
but
was hard. And
what was the thoughts coming out of Duke and that area? I mean, were people taking it serious, or were people saying, "Oh, okay, this isn't as bad"? Because I feel like there's a gap between different people. You have the medical that thinks it's horrible and the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I would say even it doesn't matter what profession.
Yeah.
It's kind of 50-50 maybe.
Yeah, because and then you have other people who's like, well, what's the difference? Are the numbers inflated or?
Yeah. So I want to just say, I mean, more than half of the patients on the unit or units I shadowed on or did precepting on, which was in my 4th semester, basically your capstone, where you're one-on-one with a nurse. Basically, you're the nurse too. You're just overseen, and then they sign off on all your stuff. More than half the patients were post-COVID. I mean, I watch a post-COVID patient come in there because he had post-COVID pneumonia, get emergently intubated, which had a tube stuck down his throat. And then he had ECMO deployed at the bedside. Don't ask me what ECMO stands for because I can never remember, but I'll tell you what it is. It's where basically a machine functions your body.
Right.
And so your body can recover. And it circulates your blood through your entire body, and your body's not doing it physiologically. Or physically, I guess, too, and because they're just that ill.
And
was because they had post-COVID pneumonia. Other than that, if they hadn't had COVID, they would have been okay. They most likely wouldn't have gotten COVID or pneumonia. Then they wouldn't have been in the ICU, and then they wouldn't have been on basically.
Did you see a lot of cases of that, though?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you're
at the hospital.
ECMO being deployed at the bedside is like an emergency. Like usually they'll take you to an operating room. That's a surgical procedure, and then because they stick a catheter in you, and it's invasive.
So is Duke like an open hospital, like just that anybody goes to, or is it like they're at other hospitals and they go there?
So people can go transfer out. They have an emergency department. You can go in there. And if you need to be admitted, they have medical surgical floors, which is kind of if you have just nothing that's needs to go to an ICU level, which is like very unstable. Right. They could go any direction at any time, versus a medical surgical floor is you're ill and you shouldn't really just go to your primary care physician or to an urgent care. And so you need to be admitted to be monitored, but at the same time, like, you could. It could still go either way.
Kind of stable, just need to look at you.
Yeah. So, like I was saying with the ICU nurse-to-patient ratio, it's 1-to-1. Med-surg is usually higher. So it's like one nurse to minimum 5 patients. Med-surg nurses may kill me for saying that low of a number, but I don't have that experience, so we'll stick with 5, so it could be more.
So you were, like, during COVID, it was online. When did you make the switch to where you were seeing actual, like, patients? Or was that while you were doing those courses as well?
So the entire, the rest of my schooling, all classes and everything was Zoom. So we called it Zoom University. Versus Duke University. And then they allowed us back into clinicals sometime in August. And then our second semester, which I think it was sometime in June or July, we got, out of the entire semester, we got 6 hours on a postpartum unit, which is mother-baby after the mother-baby's born, or after the baby's born. And then 6 hours on a labor and delivery unit, so 12 hours total for maternity. And then for pediatrics or kids, we got 6 hours on a unit there, which we saw a lot of units were transitioned or had moved units to open up other units as COVID units. And so there was one unit that was half a NICU, which is a neonatal or a really sick baby intensive care unit, and just half a pediatrics. So you had like really tiny babies or like bigger babies, and then you had kids that were sick too, but they could walk. There was one girl doing laps, and she was just counting her laps.
So y'all did laps together?
She was doing them with her dad.
Okay.
But that was, she was just walking around while we were, so that was another thing too. They moved around a lot of stuff in the hospital to accommodate for COVID.
The spacing and...
There was COVID-specific units. They did give incentive pay for that. But, if you were able to be floated or moved from, say they're short-staffed and you can be floated, everyone would, I think the majority of people would have to eventually be floated to a COVID unit. I may have that wrong, but I know a lot of people did go work on a COVID unit, even at Duke.
So let's go into a little topic is because you're at that age, kind of TikTok age, right? I mean, probably a little. I mean,
I
not,
watched them because they're
you
funny.
watch it, yeah.
Yeah.
Nurses that dance on TikTok.
I want to know where they do it because I'm like, or have the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
like,
That's where I wanted to
It's
get.
got to be night shift because night shift is completely different than day shift. Or they do it on one day they have time and they do a bunch at once maybe, and then kind of like influencers do. They do a bunch at once and then post them periodically.
Damn, is that we're missing out? That's how we're supposed to do stuff.
Oh, did
Work
I
night
just,
shift.
Yes.
I think I lost you.
So I was because we often look at the TikTok and the nurses dancing
I've seen
or
some
the
hot
teachers.
single ones. Guys, not hot single doctors,
Like,
nurses.
when the hell do they have time to do
Respiratory
TikTok?
therapy.
Shouldn't they be saving lives?
Well, night shift, the patients are asleep.
Yeah.
Even in the ICU, and if it's 1-to-1, like you're sitting right out there, and then if you are on, say they do it on break, you get a break, and you have other nurses are watching your patient, and so 2 nurses take a break at the same time. They're on break, so they can do whatever they can do anything. Say in the hospital
As long as it's
on their
30
break.
seconds or less.
Yes.
30 seconds or less.
And you get it on the first cut.
Yeah.
You can't sit
Yeah.
there and practice.
Yeah. No, they probably practice.
Have you ever thought about doing a TikTok dance?
Yeah, I'm not any good at it. I have 2 backward left feet, probably. I got put during recruitment. So I was in a sorority at ECU. During recruitment, they would put me in the back because I was so uncoordinated with my clapping and stepping. I couldn't.
You're like this.
You're Forrest Gump in the choir.
Yeah, they would probably say that. And then half the time my hands would look hyperextended. I'm like, I'm sorry. Just put me in the attic. Like, put me upstairs so I won't talk to people because I guess I can make people uncomfortable, or I'm awkward so they get awkward. I'm like, it's only awkward if you make it awkward. I'm like,
Well, thankfully you're a nurse, you know. So, you won't run into that at all.
You're not a dancer, or
no.
All right, so
I quit
do
when
you
I was
like?
5.
So do you like? Well, is there a thought, or do any nurses actually think about that, like TikTok nurses, or is that a thing, or?
Well, when I start my job at the end of August, I will let you know.
Mm-hmm.
you give us
If
reports
me-
back about.
We won't
Yeah,
post
I'll
this
keep
until
y'all-
October.
I will keep you updated. on
Okay.
that. So I'll get back to you. Yeah.
Sweet. So let's go into. So we're usually at the end of the show we do a couple of things, segments called Jock Itch, or we do the Magic 8 Ball. Matt's not here for Jock Itch, even though Young Jock could do it. So we're gonna let Young Jock do it. But before we do that, we're gonna add a new segment. It's called Rapid Fire. We give you about 4 or 5. We'll do 5. 5
do
questions. And we
Billy's
don't even
gonna
know the
ask them all.
questions. We don't know the questions we're going to ask. I'm going to ask one. He'll ask one. We'll go back and forth till we reach 5. Okay? And all you do is we ask you a question, and then the first thing that hits your head, that's going to be your answer. Okay?
Okay.
You ready?
That hits my head.
Yeah.
Is there something going to follow this guy?
No.
Oh.
Not yet.
That's not the first question. Yeah.
First question. If you had one superpower, what would that be?
Teleporting.
Teleporting?
So I can avoid all the traffic and tourists and just get there faster.
Well, and it would help with nursing.
Yeah. Get to floor faster.
Patient to patient.
Patient to patient.
Or I
Yeah,
guess,
God, that
yeah.
would be.
Yeah, it would. Well, then I would just speed up time because
You only get one power.
I know. Well, I'm just like, you just opened up a whole new topic because some patients will keep you in there forever. They just like to talk. They just
Or
want
freeze
someone
them.
to talk to. Oh, yeah. Or give them the ability of silence.
Chris, your question.
Man, we should have thought of these questions
That's
before.
why. That's why we just fire off.
What do you want to know, Chris?
Well, the superpower is mine.
What's your next one?
Good thing dead time can be cut. All right, come on. You do the next one.
Okay, what's your favorite food?
Lobster and steak.
Lobster and steak.
Lobster's first, but then a nice fillet.
Favorite dessert?
I like cheesecake.
One show that you could
That was
binge
the
watch.
first thought. I was supposed to.
No, that's good.
Oh,
Cheesecake is good.
yeah.
one show that you could binge watch over and over.
Grey's.
Grey's Anatomy. I guess
I
I see
put
it.
that on for Jewel though. My dog. I guess I should have mentioned I have a dog. Jewel loves Grey's. Yeah, and I like watching it now too because when they say all this stuff that's inaccurate, it's just so funny because I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
And they say the
Oh,
like,
it's my mom. So my mom went back after she had all of us. She went back to college and became a nurse.
Why didn't you say that? You've never told me
That
that.
could have related
she
really early
graduated.
on. Right at the beginning.
So she would watch. That was the time. Well, she'd already been a nurse, but ER came out, and she was like, "That's so wrong. No one talks like that in the emergency room." I was like, "Mom, it's a show." She is, "Yeah, but they're idiots." Okay, all right, Mom. All right, last question, Chris. I'll give it to you. Make it good.
Damn, I had a good one.
Oh,
What was your question again?
Binge worthy.
All right, we're gonna stay on that topic. What was your favorite Disney movie growing up?
Probably The Little Mermaid. I know there was one though that I really watched over and over, and I can't think of what it was. But I love The Little Mermaid. I had it on VHS.
Mm-hmm. That's a good
You
one.
just put it on rewind.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid.
Under the sea. All right, so let's go right into jock itch. Now, jock itch is where jock itch is where something that just gets under your skin, just aggravates the crap out of you.
Like Chris?
Oh, that's her.
It's Young Jock. Okay.
My name is Young Jock.
It's
on
Young
this
Jock
channel.
Itch. Okay.
That was the first name that came.
So what's your jock itch?
As far
Yeah, you have to.
Jock itch, I would say, is when something is supposed to start and it starts later.
So
Meaning, I guess maybe being punctual or
Being on time.
just on time. Yeah.
Are you referring
get
to
that.
today?
no.
Oh. Like I was in Jacksonville.
My jock itch would probably be, because I'm a bartender, when people come up and they say, "Can I have a double Red Bull and vodka?" Like, so you want 2 Red Bulls and 1 vodka, or do you want a double vodka and Red Bull?
So they're over specific, but not specific
No,
enough.
they're totally wrong.
What if they say they want a double Tito's and vodka?
Then that's even worse.
That's
I'm like,
a triple.
yeah, because I get that too. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be- okay,
that's vodka,
okay, so
actually.
that actually
That's
makes
actually
sense.
vodka, yeah.
That makes sense.
you get a triple, which is
Yeah,
illegal.
okay.
But when they come, when I get these kids,
Did not know
they come up, go get a double Red Bull and vodka.
Dude, she's sitting right there.
I'm sorry.
No, I do the double Tito's and vodka.
You're like double Tito's and vodka.
Billy's like,
with
okay.
What?
She needs
So it's
water.
that person.
No, I did the first
All right,
time.
we're
I
gonna
did that, Stone
take a
Cold
minute.
Sober. That's it. Nothing. What?
What's your jock itch?
I was gonna say I don't get one. How petty are we being?
We're not.
Oh, we
everybody
don't
gets
got
a
No,
to
jock
be
itch.
like-
petty.
I-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can
very
do whatever
petty.
you want.
itch.
Whatever.
Very
I don't
petty.
care.
Oh well, I mean, my one big thing because it's a daily occurrence is how people load a dishwasher.
Go
People
on.
load dishwashers like insane psychopaths.
There should be a class for that.
They're really like one thing they don't teach you in college or growing up or anything. I'm like, people just throw stuff in there. I'm like, what?
Just stack it.
What? I'm like,
No rhyme or reason.
no. I'm like, how do you think that bowl that's right on top of that other bowl is gonna get cleaned?
my
Like,
God.
it's
Or when
literally-
you open and there's a bowl that's full of water and then everything was kind of dry. And now you got to dry every damn dish.
and then you pull it out and you don't realize, or the Tupperware
shit.
that has
Yes.
yeah.
So I
That's a
can't-
good jockey.
I cannot wait to go to Jenna's
Loading.
house.
You don't. That's why I'm late to things because I rearranged
I
the
am
dishwasher.
so going to
I
put.
guess.
Oh, is that?
That's
That's a
why I
good
stay
petty.
up at
That's-
night because it drives me. No, just kidding.
All right. And, so last segment we do is the Magic 8 Ball.
Oh, that's
Okay.
that was my favorite part of the last.
Yeah.
the-
So we're gonna do it again.
The whatever.
So
tricks and tricks.
I want you to ask the 8 Ball anything you want. and we're going to see. I will see if it's a. I will do a prediction, and then we'll do the 8-ball.
Okay.
So, any question in the future or whatever you want to know about.
Can you give me an example of a
Like,
question?
will you find true love? Will you?
Will you
Will I
find
get
someone you
another
like?
dog soon? Will I find someone?
You like? Or let's go with the dog one.
Yeah.
No, well, so I guess I should have told you this too. I did. That's why I'm here now. Leave for Greece tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
Mm.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
I'm going to Grace.
I'm going to Greece. Let's do. Oh, what if I hope I find a Greek god there.
Will you find a Greek god there?
I didn't find one in Italy, or I didn't find a hot Italian.
I was gonna
Didn't
say
find
maybe
a
a
hot
Greek guy
Australian
would be
surfer in
tough in Italy.
Australia. Didn't. Yeah, I haven't found anyone there. I
Yeah,
haven't found in any country I've been in. Never found a hot guy there.
So I'm gonna stick with the trend. You're going to Greece. I don't think you're gonna find one in Greece either.
My
Is that-
prediction
Let's
is
see
she
what
would
the
not
eight-
find.
So with that, because I think they all moved to Moorhead.
Where? I haven't seen it.
You know they own.
What
you know,
bar do they
They
hang
own
out
all
at? 'Cause
types
it's
of.
Not Jacks, not Off the Hook, not Taps. Like, where are they at?
I don't know. They're at.
They're on the other side of that.
Yeah, they're at No Name Pizza.
Yeah. Just eat.
Table 9.
Just grease.
Ruddy Duck. All those places.
They're not at Redfish.
No.
So
they're
is
not.
there,
So what's the
I was
prediction?
there Friday.
She will not.
She will
meet-
not while she's there.
Y'all are negative Nancy's.
I think she
you
will.
For your help.
You think she will?
I think
Thank
she
you,
will.
Chris.
All right. So you.
Young Jock. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Young Jock.
You're
So
welcome.
let's see what the 8-ball says. This
Okay.
is the moment of truth.
And let's see if Billy can read it.
Everybody jokes on me
Spit
about
on
it.
it. Cough. No, don't cough on it.
What does it say?
Most likely. Should we put it? Stop! Stop! No! Stop! It is decidedly so. I can't read upside down. They don't teach you that.
So that's 2 that came true.
Yeah.
So yes.
It is. Would you like to see the evidence? You have to look from there. I'm not moving it.
Yep. I can read.
A couple bubbles.
Well, Jenna, thank you so much for
She's
coming
there.
in and hanging out with us. We
Thanks
really
for having
appreciate
me.
it. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, good,
have
good.
had it. Yeah,
Fantastic. Young Jock, thank you so much for filling in for your brother.
It was tough.
It was tough. It was a dirty task, but you did it. You got through it.
I had to think of
perfectly.
intriguing questions the whole
I
time.
know.
Yeah,
So
what's
I got
your
like 2
favorite
of them.
dessert?
2 of them, right? So, with that being said, guys, if you like this episode, give us a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. We'll see you on the next video.